I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the Dave Season 1 season finale after show. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we made it. I am one of your hosts, Ashley Jones, and I couldn't do this alone. Of course, we've got the beautiful hip-hop fanatic, Carla Contreras. How are you, Carla?
Hey everyone, I'm doing so amazing. I can't believe it's over.
I know, we were so bummed last week.
Yeah, 10 episodes is not enough.
It's definitely not enough. I am praying to the gods that we get a second season of this show because it was just so good. So entertaining, so much fun. But this episode in particular was just so juicy. It had so much. We're going to talk about jail time raps. We're going to talk about drama and label meetings. We're going to talk about Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee, Breakfast Club, the freestyle flow, all of it. But first, I want to know, what were your overall thoughts of Dave Season 1 finale, episode 10? What do you think?
I have mixed feelings about it. I really did enjoy it so much. I feel like maybe I had too many of my own expectations of how I wanted the story to go. So that's totally on me. But I love seeing him in his element, him do his thing, and just him just being in the moment and being like, whatever happens, who cares if I mess up? I'm just gonna do my thing. And he was being a little selfish in this episode, but he really did the right thing at the end. And we didn't get to see my girl Allie anymore. I thought she would be back, but it didn't happen.
I knew she was gonna be gone, but I thought she'd at least make a cameo at the end. And when we didn't see her, I was really bummed that it was over. Overall, though, I thought the episode was really jarring, to say the least, especially the first scene that we'll get into in a minute. But I just thought Dave killed it at the end of the show with that freestyle with Charlamagne and Angela. I was so impressed.
Epic.
And now I'm really gonna dive deeper in Little Dickies, his library of music, because he's just so talented, and I can't wait to hear and experience more of his craft. So let's jump right in. What did you think about the opening scene and the opening rap with Dave talking about this jail experience?
So I feel like I didn't know where it was going, and I kept thinking what I'm seeing, it has to be the worst right now. It has to be the most explicit. And then it got worse and worse and worse. I could not believe it. It was so detailed. I've never heard anything like it. And he was so adamant about getting his message across. And I was like, look, you have to choose. I feel like there's a fine line between, wanting to create your own art and share your message and wanting to make money. And there has to be a balance of both, but you definitely have to listen to the people around you, because there's no way that would make millions or thousands of dollars. No way.
Totally. I when it first started to happen, I was like, is this real? Is this something that he actually experienced? And then as it went along, I saw that obviously it wasn't. But I mean, the detail that he went into following this, arrest experience was mind-boggling. I was like, I could not believe he said some of the things that he said. I could not, there was a yard fight. He was talking about how the chow food was, pretty good. I used to date a guy who actually works at a prison, and he told me just some things, and I was just like, I can't believe that he said so much explicit stuff about.
It was spot on.
I mean, I don't know. He doesn't tell me all the juice and all the tea, but he tells me that stuff goes down on the yard and stuff goes down in the lunchroom. They call it chow, and it's just not somewhere you want to be, obviously.
Yes.
But when Dave started to go into detail about doing what he had to do to not get taken advantage of or raped in jail, I was like, I'm not really seeing that. This isn't really happening. I was floored.
Same.
Were you shocked?
Yes, I couldn't with the sign-up sheet, just saying oh, I'll give you a free BJ, but please don't rape me. And there was 15-minute time slots. I'm like, first of all, kind of gross, but who wants to go for 15 minutes? Okay,
yeah,
you know what?
Nobody.
And you have a lot of appointments. Okay, there's at least 10, 15 slots on there. Your poor jaw is gonna be very sore.
He's gonna be pretty exhausted. Yeah, and then who knew Dave had like could hoop? Like when I saw him
Oh
on
yeah,
the
that was
yard on the
dope.
basketball, I was like, wait, he can ball? That was so funny. It's so hilarious to me. I was like, only Dave would be able to like come into jail and just throw down on the basketball court and shock everyone. But then of course end up screwing it all up and getting in trouble with like all the different gangs and stuff anyway. That whole scene was just a lot. That whole scene was a lot, but it was
Intense.
interesting to watch to say the least. And I can't believe they showed the last scene where he like chomps it off and spits it out.
Oh, I get it.
I was like, is that what I think it
It was so
is?
much.
This show has so many like over the episodes we've seen so much explicit content, but I never thought I would see a penis being flown like
They
across the room.
definitely do not hold back when it comes to what they're willing to show. Honestly, I think it's pretty cool. I feel like you don't really see that too often anymore. And we're all adults here, okay? It's all
That's
fun and
true.
games.
Yeah, they don't hold back at all. And that is something you got to respect about like Dave and, the whole production of this show. Like it's definitely pushing the boundaries and it's entertaining. So it was really, really fun to watch. So moving on to the next episode in the label meeting where he's trying his hardest to get the label to put this record out. How did this make you feel? What was Dave thinking?
I honestly was just thinking, like, I felt like he definitely was not thinking straight. Like, there's no way he was. Like, now you just joined this brand new label and you're already starting so much trouble. Like later in the episode, they mentioned this also. Like, he should be feeling really grateful to and have this opportunity, and he's already blowing it by getting under these people's skin and just going against everything the company stands for. So I just thought, like, I don't know, do better, sis.
Yeah, I had mixed feelings on this scene too, because I really understood where Dave was coming from as far as like not releasing that creative control. And of course, I thought the song was a bit too much, but I did think Dave was right to fight for his art by any means
Mhm.
necessary, even if we as like normal consumers think it's too much. I really wish we could have heard the end of the song where they talk about like the social commentary and criminal justice stuff. I thought it would be really nice to have heard kind of the rest of it. But I understand Dave like wanting to not be censored, even though the content was a little bit much for most. So I got where he was coming from, but of course I understand like the label saying we can't, like this is unheard of, we can't put this out. So but then we go into his fight with Will. Like, what did you think about Dave's treatment of one of his best buds?
Michael? Mike?
Oh, sorry, Michael. Yeah, Mike.
Okay. Um, so I feel like this pattern just kind of happened for me over the episode. Like once again, I thought so Mike ended up kind of opening up to him saying, I quit my job once we signed this contract, which I am gonna go ahead and assume he made 10% off of that. So if it was $200,000, he made a good chunk off of it. Um, so if he wasn't happy with his job and this was like his next move in life, like go right ahead. But I feel like when he opened up to Dave, instead of Dave like kind of thinking twice about what he was going to do, he was just kind of like, well, why would you do that? Like, why wouldn't you consult me? Like, I can't make my choices based off you. I thought that was such a shitty thing to do to your friend. Like, he's literally the reason you've been in these positions. Like, I think he got him the show before, and he basically like pushes him, and he's like on his case about making his art the best it could be. And I just think he wasn't appreciating him. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting that Dave was going so hard at Mike.
Yeah.
Because because like the whole point of a manager is to try to get your point across, is to try to get the manager's
Hmm.
point across. So I completely understood him, questioning why he wasn't fighting for Dave in some way, shape, or form. I feel like Mike wasn't trying to compromise maybe as much as he should have. And I could see how Dave could be really impacted by that. But I think the way he went off on his friend was just completely inappropriate. I mean, tensions were high. It was a very conflict driven meeting, and I could understand his frustration, but you don't treat the fam that way. You don't treat your friends and family that way. So I thought it was interesting to see their dynamic.
I agree. I think also keep in mind the fact that he didn't hear the song before they went into that meeting. Not a smart move. Like you said, from here on out, we have to play the music beforehand because I think he has to go in there knowing what he's fighting for. I think he was just as shocked as everyone else was. And I mean, when you're hearing the song for the first time, there's no way you can just sit there and be like, "Oh, this is amazing." Like, well, I mean, Benny thought that, but like a normal person would think twice about it. Like, how are we going to monetize the song? That's going to be hard.
Absolutely. Totally. I
Yeah.
thought he went a little too hard on one of his best friends. So, but I
Yeah.
mean, Dave does that, you know. He
He is who he is.
he is who he is. He's very emotional and he's very confident in his craft and what he does, and he fights for it and he stands behind it. So I get that. Speaking of other people in Dave's life, let's chat about some of the smaller scenes in the episode. Um, Elle going on tour with Trippie Redd and leaving for
Oh my
6 weeks.
god.
That was shocking. How did this scene make you feel?
I loved it. I feel like it's one of the things I hope we would end up seeing, because it's like he is talented. He's just not as confident as maybe he should be in this craft, but he got that moment in the studio with Trippie Redd, which is like the moment everyone waits for in their career. Like, who's gonna notice me? Who's gonna believe in me? Who's gonna give me that chance? And he got it. But like I've been saying, I hated that when he told Dave, not one time Dave happy or like congratulating him. He was more concerned about himself. If they do the same big break you just got, your friend just got, and be happy for him. And instead of
Yeah,
being like, "Oh, save the track for me
forever.
forever," like he's just
Yeah.
so selfish. I'm
He
not about it.
is. He is. He did say, like, of course he's proud of him, and of course, like, he's glad that his career is like moving forward. But it's hard when you're growing and changing and making moves, and you know, you want everyone to come with you. You want everyone to stay with you. So I could see how Dave's heart was broken a little bit. But I mean, Elsa's tracks. He produces some hot tracks, so I mean, you got to give him his credit and let him grow. So we're excited for him. We're excited for Els and
Yeah, super
his new
excited.
opportunities for sure. And then we had a small scene with Emma talking about Little Dickies logo. And I was so surprised that he was like so cool with just the LD. I was like, oh, he's switching things up. He's not being as picky as he normally does. But the more important part of the scene was when he asked about Allie. What did you think about this little interaction?
Oh, well, I love that he's finally toning it down on the dick jokes or like dick stuff. Because it's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's your name's enough. Like, I don't think you need to put dicks in people's faces 24/7. So I thought that was super cool. I actually like the simplicity of the logo so much. Like, I thought it was dope. Um, it's kind of crazy that like he asked about Ali, but then it's like, so from what we saw, they didn't really break up. They just kind of just stormed off. And it seems like neither of them wants to budge right now. It's like he clearly wants to talk to her, wants to know about her, but something's holding him back. I wish we got a little more like insight or details on that because we didn't really
Mhm.
get to see much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're not together. Like, I'm pretty sure
Oh
they're
yeah,
broken up. Yeah.
definitely.
Um, but it's nice to know that he was still thinking about her. You know, it's nice to know that he is still caring and, you know, wanting to make sure she's okay, wanting to make sure or wanting to see if she's dating anyone else. So I feel like he knows that he may have made like a mistake or they have made a mistake just in their relationship, but he's still there and still like wants to be around, you know, in her life. And I was just bummed that, you know, they hadn't talked in a while. But that's how relationships are sometimes. You win some, you lose some. But they were so cute.
Definitely. Yeah, they were
um,
super adorable.
yeah, they were definitely one of my favorite TV couples for sure. Just
Mhm.
awesome. Now let's get into probably my favorite scene of the whole episode. Dave goes on the Breakfast Club, like legit, with
Char
Charlemagne, Angela Yee. I was like, he's actually there and he's actually talking to them. I was so hyped when I saw this. I didn't think it was actually going to happen. The producer guy mentioned it at the beginning of the episode, but I was like, oh, that'll never happen. And then they show up at the Breakfast Club. What did you think about this scene?
I mean, it just doesn't get much cooler than that. That's like so dope. And then I just thought it was like interesting. Like Charlemagne was kind of giving him a hard time, being super hard on him, but I love that he stayed super real about who he is. and didn't like try to be fake about anything. How Gator came into the situation was like, look, like you're trying to say that culture appropriating, but really this is just like a genuine friendship. And everything about it, I think, was just he really showed who he was, which is I think what's gonna will eventually led to his success, you know?
Hmm. For sure. When I first heard, I'm going to be completely transparent right now. So when I first heard about Dave and Little Dicky and kind of the hoopla around it, I was like, oh, great, another white rapper who's going to be better than all the black rappers. And, there goes our culture again. Um, so, and a lot of people felt that way. A lot of
Oh
people felt
yeah.
like, oh, another like culture vulture, like we can't have anything. Can we at least hold on tight to something? But Dave is just being who he is, and he
Mhm.
is really good at what he does. And so when someone is just being true to themselves and they can, back it up with really great talent, like you can't deny that and you can't knock that. And the one thing about Dave too is that he always gives respect where respect is due. He always pays due to, those who came before him and that type of thing. Versus, some stars and celebrities are just like, nope, this is me. I created it. This is all my doing. And I really appreciate Dave for, like respecting the culture in that way, because a lot of people just take it and run with it. And that's not nice.
Yeah.
So I appreciate Dave for like just being true to who he is, saying, yes, I am privileged. I know it. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just going to do me and, try to uplift everyone with my words. And we can't really ask for more than that. So I really liked his freestyle at the end. I really like how he kind of shut it all down. Like
Def
everything that you thought about me, everything that you speculated about me, none of that matters. Just listen to the words, just listen to my flow, and you'll respect me, And I definitely do. And I think most people do as well. So I was really glad to hear what he had to say and how he replied to that very sticky situation. Because I know a lot of white rappers probably go through the same thing, but I
Oh
think he
yeah.
handled it really well.
Yeah, definitely. And even I think like one of the things about him is that he has like such an interesting rap style. You know, it's like I don't think he's out there trying to be like hard, like gangsta, like I'm from the hood. Like, no, he owns it and he makes it his own. I really think his ultimate goal is just like to laugh at life. And I
For
love that.
sure,
'Cause
and enjoy
sometimes
it.
rap, yeah, 'cause sometimes rap can be a little like just too much, like money, girls, the lifestyle, the hood, like, and sometimes you just wanna laugh at life and enjoy it, and I feel like that's
Yeah,
exactly what he always is doing. He's just
yeah,
awesome.
I agree, and, like, the flow was just sick, like, the track was sick, like, I just love hearing him rap. I think he is so talented, and it's just enjoyable to listen to, he's
Yeah.
just he's a good one. He's a good one. Yeah, so should we get into our very last special segment of
No.
Dave's? Oh, I'm just so sad. Our very last what's behind the names? Can't be true. This can't be
S
happening. What you
so I
got for us,
chose
Carla?
one. I feel like you're gonna know this one because you literally, I feel like in these 10 weeks have known like 7 out of 10, okay? So I have Notorious B.I.G. What do you think? Where do you think
Ah,
this stemmed from?
gosh, I should know this one. I mean, I know he's like Big Papa. Um,
I love it
I
when you call
know
me
he's
babe.
from yes, I know he's from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy. I used to live there, so hey, hey. Um,
Dope.
it has to be something in regards to like Brooklyn or like him being just like the biggest rapper out there. That's my guess.
Okay. Okay. Ryan, you wanna jump into this one? Is Ryan there listening to us?
He's
Okay,
listening.
I don't think he's with us, but I'll go ahead and let all of you know. So let me so his original name was Biggie Smalls. So we also know
Mhm,
him as Biggie Smalls.
mhm.
And he got that name from a film that actually came out in 1975 called Let's Do It Again, which actually starred Bill Cosby in it. It was basically it had like a few gangsters in it, and one of them was called Biggie Smalls. So he got that from that movie, but then he actually ended up having a lawsuit for having that name the lawsuit was brought about by Lockhart, which I'm assuming has something to do with the movie, and he was forced to change his name. So that's when it became Notorious B.I.G., which obviously he was a 6'3", like 200 something pound guy.
Mm-hmm.
But his original name was actually Biggie Smalls, which I didn't know. I thought he kind of ran with both.
Yeah, me too.
But
I thought he definitely it was just either or. I didn't know there was a real story behind it. Huh.
yes, isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. I feel like I have learned so much about so many rappers over these past 10 weeks, just thanks to you and your special segments. It's just so fun. It's so fun to play this really cute, fun game. We know what Little
My
Dickies
pleasure.
stands for, so.
Oh yeah.
And he shares it with us over and over and over again, which is, it's Dave.
And it never stops being funny.
And it never stops being funny. So true. So as far as news goes this week, like we don't have confirmation on if Dave is going to be returning for a season 2. Our fingers are crossed that it does, just because the show was so epic. It was so funny. It had so much drama. It made you laugh. It made you sad a couple times, and it was just real. It was just real. So I really hope we get a season 2, right?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Everyone, send out some good juju, some prayers that we get a Dave season 2. So I guess we can't really do predictions for next week,
yeah.
but I'm just going to predict that Dave will come back bigger, better, stronger, and we'll get to hopefully dive into his relationship next season. If there's a next season, I would love to see kind of him and Allie, and maybe them getting back into another situation, or if he, decides to date someone else. I think that would be fun to watch. If we were to get a confirmed season 2, like what would you like to see, Carla?
I would love to see the evolution of his career. I mean, we just are seeing the beginning. I would love to see how he became the star he is now. Because Dave, I can't imagine, from what we've seen, for some reason, I can't imagine him like in the lifestyle of like fame and stardom with like the tours and the girls and the bottles and all that crazy stuff, because I feel like he's just like so awkward and cute, and he's like so wholesome. So I would love to see him in that element and how he like manages it, how he is around other stars, and how he is with Allie. So I guess I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I love that though. That's a really good pitch. That would definitely be a show I'd want to watch.
Writers, hit me up.
I know, right? She's talented and gifted.
I got
and ready.
ideas.
Yeah, so I guess that wraps our final AfterBuzz show for Dave season 1. It has been such a pleasure hosting this with you. Thanks for being here with us and sharing all of your interesting opinions and tidbits. If they don't know already, where can the people find you to keep watching you after this is done?
You can find me on Instagram at Carla L. Contreras and Twitter at Carla_C. I'm so sad it's over.
Me too. And you guys, you can find me at Ashley Viewer Jones on all social media platforms. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for commenting. Thanks for staying on us about our little Dickie info. Like, we read all the comments. So thanks for keeping us honest, and thanks for watching. And hopefully we'll get to see you guys in maybe next year with the Dave season 2. Fingers crossed. But until next time, thanks for watching.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.